Hey folks, John here. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again to This World My Take, the audio podcast. It's always an honor to have you stop by to check out what we have to say on this channel. And please do me a favor. I would like you to support the platform. And the only way you can do that is by hitting that subscribe button and turning on your notifications so that whenever something is released and dropped on this platform, you will be the first to get notified. Now let's get right into it and on why we are here today. So recently, ladies and gentlemen, the Netherlands just announced that they are banning 2 Israeli ministers from entering its territory. We are going to try to understand why the Netherlands has just banned these 2 ministers and why the Dutch waited this long, and the tragic backdrop of the Israelis' assault on Gaza, which, by all indication, it is a genocide. Ladies and gentlemen, the Netherlands' action on July 29th, 2025, that's yesterday, under the caretaker government, declared Israeli Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir of National Security and Bezalel Smotrich of Finance persona non grata, banning them from entering the Netherlands. In a letter to the parliament, Foreign Minister of Netherlands Casper Veldkamp condemned their repeated incitement to violence and the public call for ethnic cleansing in Gaza, which we have been trying to let these people know for over 20 months now. They were accused of promoting settlers' violence, endorsing expansion of the West Bank settlements, and activating for the forced displacement of the Palestinians from Gaza. Folks, I don't know about you, but the situation in Gaza has been deteriorating, and it is only recently that videos and pictures of malnourished and skeletal looking babies and Palestinians that has actually made the international community sit up and start acting like, what is really going on? But you all know that these folks are making all of these things seem like it is something they did not know that was going on. They did know, but it is just by mere pressure from the general population calling on the international community to act. But why now? Why did they delay all this while Israel has been killing people, Israel has been destroying the Gaza Strip, and Israel has been pushing some of its citizens to occupy territory in Palestine? Although humanitarian crisis and mounting pressure have built up for months, the Netherlands moved only after. Is it too late? Upon repeated calls by Ben-Gvir and Smotrich for the destruction in Gaza, Smotrich spoke of Gaza being totally destroyed and relocating Palestinians abroad. We heard them saying that if the Arab world loves them, they should take them in as refugees, a move which so many people have been calling wrong, and a move which South Africa pointed out when they took Israel, the IDF, to the international court. But we all know that the mafia that is being played and the veto power by America supporting all this mess has stopped a whole lot of things from going down. Now, Minister Ben-Gvir called for starvation and bombing rather than aid. And now that we are seeing this picture of this starvation, it is obvious that this man is the author of this whole starvation push and the killing of these Palestinians who go and stand in line to get aid. The action by the states, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, and Slovenia had already imposed sanctions or bans on these figures, these 2 ministers. The scale of domestic protests, tens and thousands have demanded stronger measures at red line demonstration and university encampments across the Netherlands through the year 2025. Now, the government has been cautious politically, awaiting sufficient public consensus and legal justification before taking this diplomatic stand. If you ask me, folks, I would say that they are too late. Earlier in the year, Dutch universities and courts started re-examining institutional ties with Israel over complicity in violations. Now, this is crazy that some of these institutions around Europe and around the world, they have directly been receiving funds from shady lobbies, especially from Jewish partners. Yet until now, stronger sanctions were seen as premature. What's really behind this move, ladies and gentlemen? Why did the Netherlands all of a sudden wake up, see, and they saw the light and really see what's happening in the Gaza Strip? It aligns the Netherlands with EU proposal to suspend Israel's access to major research funding. A 900 million euro tech fund with alleged dual use capability has been flagged for partial suspension due to violations of EU-Israel agreements. It reinforces obligation under the International Criminal Court (ICC) and the International Court of Justice (the ICJ). The ICC issued arrest warrants for Israel leaders including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Gallant, accusing them of war crimes, including starvation used as a method of war crime and international bombing of civilians in Gaza. Folks, if you remember, decades ago, there was a fella in Germany who actually perpetuated the same thing to Jewish people. And the same images we see of people starving, skeletal-looking human beings, is the same that we saw during Hitler's reign in Germany. I don't know why these people took a long time to act when the whole world had been calling for this to go down the way it was supposed to be. South Africa had already taken Israel to court and they had proven that what Israel is actually doing was genocidal. But yet these folks did not act, and all of a sudden they see the light. Dutch law supports enforcement. Authorities maintain that under the Roman statute, Netanyahu could be arrested upon arriving in the Netherlands if warrants are valid. What do you mean by if warrants are valid, folks? We know that it was issued, and Netanyahu and the Israeli Zionist movement, they have been trying to cancel it because they have been pressuring the judge, and they even made the judge to be suspended with some cooked up allegations which is still under investigation. Foreign Minister Velkamp stressed that the situation in Gaza had become unbearable and indefensible. So they were defending Israel, and now they see that it's no use. Prompting the summons of Israeli ambassador to demand Israel change its course and allow substantial humanitarian access. These folks have been blocking humanitarian aid from getting into the Gaza Strip for these people to eat. We all know that they are evil, and I will say this Zionism is just a rebrand of what Hitler was doing decades ago. The world told that Gaza's humanitarian crisis since October 7, 2023. Israel military operations in Gaza have killed more than 60,000 Palestinians. Now that is a raw estimate, with nearly 146,000 injured, according to the Gaza's health ministry. This is crazy, and all of this is going down, and the world just sits and just watch how Israel is performing genocide. The UN agency is one of a humanitarian catastrophe of epic proportion, with famine unfolding, thousands of malnourished children, collapsing health system, and widespread starvation because aid is blocked or insufficient. I still do not understand why countries cannot just all unanimously just decide to go in there and drive food aid into these people if they really want to help. Many human rights groups, including the Bezalel and the Physicians for Human Rights Israel, have accused Israel of committing genocide, citing its systematic targeting of civilian infrastructures and healthcare systems and the use of starvation as a tactic. It's crazy. The ICJ interim ruling found genocide to be plausible and ordered Israel to cease acts that may constitute genocide, but they didn't. These folks go around like they are above the law because they have America backing them. In Gaza, acute food insecurity has soared. UNICEF reports that nearly 1 in 5 children is severely malnourished and 1 in 3 residents goes days without eating. Starvation is not due to food scarcity but blocked access, destroyed sanitation, and inadequate medical care. If this is not Hitler reborn, I don't know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what this means and what comes next. The Dutch action signals growing international impatience. It's a symbolic and practical step. No entry for key hardline ministers, public pressure, and willingness to explore deeper economic or trade sanctions if Israel continues to fill its obligations to humanitarian access. You know they will not yield to nothing, because they got Trump now backing them and telling them to finish the job. It's crazy. I really don't understand what is happening, but the world is evil. Other countries and blocs are watching. The European Parliament may vote on broader measures, including suspensions of aviation agreements, trade restrictions on settlement goods, and research funding cuts if conditions in Gaza do not improve. Maybe these folks want to see everybody wiped out in Gaza before they actually take this shit serious. That's it for today, guys. This was my take. We aim to explain why the Netherlands moved now, what led to the delay, and the grim humanitarian context behind that decision. Subscribe for more investigative, clear-eye reporting on international crisis. My name is John. Thank you for listening and stay tuned. And you know that this world is complicated and we will keep talking about it, folks. Stay blessed.